Your car has a mind of its own. Lights turn on for no reason. The air conditioning only works when it wants to, or error codes appear that cost a fortune to diagnose. What I'm about to show you in the next few minutes will make mechanics hate me. These are 13 ultra-secret techniques that mechanics use to reset any electronic fault without spending thousands of dollars on diagnostics. But be warned, trick number 1 is so powerful that it can fix problems even the most expensive scanner can't detect. Some of these methods are so simple that you'll be angry you didn't know about them sooner. Others are so advanced that only certified technicians have mastered them. But before we begin, I need you to promise me something.
13. Disconnect the negative terminal for 10 minutes. Your car is acting weird again. The lights are flickering for no reason, the AC turns on and off by itself, or the radio resets every time you start the engine. Before you spend $500 at the shop, there's a trick so simple it seems too good to be true. Disconnect the negative battery terminal for exactly 10 minutes. It's like a hard reset for your vehicle's brain. During those 10 minutes, all internal capacitors fully discharge, and the central computer erases all temporary error codes causing the malfunction. This process, known as a hard reset in the automotive world, solves 80% of minor electronic faults. The key is the timing. Less than 10 minutes isn't enough to fully discharge the system, and more time is unnecessary. The procedure is simple. Turn off the engine, remove the key from the ignition, loosen the negative terminal with a 10mm wrench, wait exactly 10 minutes, reconnect, and start the engine. It's like rebooting your computer when it freezes. Have you ever tried this magic reset?
12. Fuse jumping to reset modules. Have you noticed that automotive electronics specialists charge a minimum of $200 just to inspect your car? What they don't tell you is that often the problem is solved with a technique so simple you'll be angry you didn't know about it sooner. When your vehicle has intermittent faults like flickering lights, systems that activate on their own, or error codes that appear and disappear, it's usually a software, not hardware problem. Electronic modules can freeze just like your phone when it gets stuck. The controlled jumping technique involves identifying exactly which module is causing the problem and disconnecting its specific fuse for a precise amount of time. It's not about pulling just any fuse for any length of time. There's a science behind it. The process requires exactly 15 seconds without electrical power so the module can fully discharge its internal capacitors and clear all corrupt temporary memory.
11. Key and ignition sequence without starting. This will sound completely crazy, but there's a secret key sequence that can make your car forget all its electronic faults in less than 2 minutes. Official dealerships use this technique when new cars arrive with factory issues. It's called the Ignition Cycle Reset Protocol, and it works because the control modules need to complete specific self-diagnostic sequences to clear intermittent memory codes. Most drivers never do this because they immediately start the engine after turning the key. The correct technique is this. Turn the key to the on position without starting the engine. Hold for 5 seconds, turn it off completely, wait 3 seconds, and repeat this cycle exactly 6 consecutive times. On the 7th turn, you can start normally. During these cycles, you are forcing each module to perform its full verification routine without interference from the running engine. This allows them to automatically detect and correct communication conflicts between systems that cause intermittent failures. The result is impressive. Warning lights disappear.
10. Accelerator pedal reset. Learning mode. Listen to this. Your car just came out of the shop after a repair, and now it accelerates like a teenager is driving it for the first time. Weird jerks, RPMs that go up and down on their own, and a throttle response that seems to have a life of its own. Mechanics tell you it needs to adapt, but they don't explain how to help it. The engine control module has something called adaptive maps that learn your driving style over thousands of miles. When they disconnect the battery or replace components, these maps are erased and the car literally forgets how to behave with you behind the wheel. There is a secret sequence that forces the system into an accelerated learning mode. With the engine completely cold and the transmission in park,
Hold the accelerator pedal all the way down for exactly 10 seconds. Then release it abruptly and wait 5 more seconds. This sequence wakes up the accelerator position sensors and tells the control module to recalibrate all its response parameters. Instead of waiting weeks for it to gradually learn, you do it in minutes. 9. Pressing the brake and clutch with key in the on position. This will sound completely crazy, but there's a combination of movements that can solve electronic problems that even the most expensive scanner can't detect. It's so strange that when I first showed it to my trusted mechanic, he thought I was joking. Automotive engineers programmed a hidden function into most modern vehicles, an emergency reset that is activated by simultaneously pressing the brake and clutch pedals while the key is in the on position, but without starting the engine. This seemingly nonsensical sequence sends a specific signal to the vehicle's central computer, forcing it to check all connected systems and re-establish communication between modules. It's like you're telling the car's brain, hey, wake up and reorganize yourself. The trick is to keep both pedals pressed for exactly 30 seconds. During this time, you'll see some dashboard lights blink in a strange way. This is completely normal. The computer is performing a deep self-diagnostic and clearing communication errors between systems.
8. Keeping the hood open after disconnecting the battery. Veteran mechanics have rituals that seem like superstitions, but are actually based on pure science. One of the strangest is leaving the hood completely open after disconnecting the battery, and when you find out why, you'll never close it again during a reset. It turns out that modern electronic systems have something called capacitive memory. Even if you disconnect the battery, the internal capacitors and circuits can retain a residual charge for up to 30 minutes. This phantom energy can interfere with the complete reset process you are trying to achieve. By keeping the hood open, you allow air to circulate freely around all the electronic modules. This air circulation not only helps dissipate built-up heat, but also accelerates the natural discharge of all the vehicle's electronics. The cooler ambient temperature causes electronic components to discharge faster and more uniformly. It's like letting your car breathe while it's completely resetting.
7. Using a basic OBD2 scanner to clear codes. Get ready, because this will change your life forever. That little $20 device you see in any auto parts store has the power to literally save you thousands in unnecessary trips to the shop. The basic OBD2 scanner isn't just for reading error codes, as most people think. Its true power lies in the selective clearing function, which allows you to delete specific codes without affecting other systems. While disconnecting the battery erases everything indiscriminately, the scanner gives you surgical control over what to reset. The key is to understand that not all codes should be cleared in the same way. Permanent codes require you to first solve the root cause, but pending and intermittent codes can be cleared immediately to see if they return. This distinction is impossible without a scanner. The correct process is to connect the scanner, read all active codes, identify which are real and which are phantom codes, selectively clear only the phantom codes, and monitor for a week to see if they return. Shops charge $150 to do the exact same thing.
6. Resetting sensors with dashboard button combinations. Get ready, because this will completely change the way you see your car's dashboard. The buttons you use every day hide secret codes that can reset specific sensors without having to disconnect anything at all. Each manufacturer programs unique button combinations that activate hidden service menus. For example, in many vehicles, simultaneously pressing and holding the odometer reset/trip button while turning on the ignition takes you to a menu where you can calibrate tire pressure sensors, reset maintenance services, and even adjust computer parameters. The most powerful sequence that few people know is the combination of 3 buttons: hazard lights, air conditioning, and windshield wipers, held for exactly 7 seconds with the engine off but the ignition on.
This sequence activates the self-diagnostic mode, which allows you to reset oxygen sensors, engine temperature sensors, and emission systems.
5. Cleaning sensor connectors with electrical spray. Imagine you have a TV with a bad signal. The image is blurry, it cuts out, and sometimes it works perfectly. That's exactly what happens to your car when the sensor connectors are dirty. The car's brain receives distorted information and makes completely wrong decisions. Most intermittent electronic faults are not due to damaged sensors, but to connectors contaminated with grease, moisture, or microscopic corrosion. These contaminants act as interference in the electrical signals, causing false readings that confuse the central computer. Dielectric spray is a specialized solvent that completely dissolves all contaminants without damaging delicate electronic components. Unlike other cleaners, this product does not conduct electricity, so you can use it with confidence on live circuits. The correct technique is to spray each connector generously, wait 30 seconds for it to penetrate, and then connect and disconnect several times for it to have a mechanical effect. This process restores perfect conductivity and eliminates parasitic resistances that generate phantom error codes.
4. Pressing the accelerator to the floor with the ignition on. Test mode. Get ready because this trick will completely change the way you understand your car's systems. There is a secret mode hidden in your vehicle that manufacturers never mention in the manual, but which can solve problems you thought were impossible to fix. With the engine completely off, but the ignition on, if you press the accelerator all the way to the floor and hold it for 10 seconds, you activate the internal diagnostic mode of the injection system. During this process, the engine computer performs a self-calibration routine that recalibrates all critical sensors. This procedure forces the system to relearn the values for idle, accelerator position, oxygen sensors, and airflow. It is especially effective when your car has problems with irregular acceleration, unstable idle, or consumes more fuel than normal. The most impressive thing is that this test mode can also clear minor error codes that are causing poor performance. The computer literally resets itself and learns from scratch how your specific engine should behave. 3. Checking and removing the ECM fuse for 1 minute. We have reached the top 3, and this is where we separate amateurs from true experts. This trick is so powerful that some workshops consider it their secret weapon to solve problems that other technicians cannot. The engine control module, known as the ECM, is literally your vehicle's brain. It controls everything from fuel injection to ignition timing. When this module is corrupted or gets caught in an error loop, it can generate completely crazy symptoms that make no logical sense. The golden minute technique consists of specifically locating the ECM fuse in the engine compartment fuse box. Not just any fuse, but the exact one that powers the main control module. By removing it for exactly 60 seconds, you force a deep reset that erases even the most persistent errors. During this critical minute, all the adaptive parameters that the ECM has learned incorrectly are completely eliminated. 2. Disabling the start-stop system before diagnosing. I'm going to tell you something that I had to learn the hard way after misdiagnosing 3 cars in a row. The start-stop system, which automatically turns your engine on and off, is the silent saboteur of any electronic diagnosis you try to do. Think of it this way. You are trying to read your vehicle's error codes, but every time you stop at a traffic light, the engine turns off and all the modules go into hibernation mode. When it restarts, some systems take several seconds to stabilize, creating false readings that can make you think you have non-existent problems. The interference goes beyond wrong diagnoses. During constant on-off cycles, electronic modules cannot complete their self-calibration routines. It's like trying to tune a piano while someone is playing it. The professional trick is to completely disable the start-stop before any diagnostic or reset process. This keeps all systems in an active state and allows communication between modules to flow without interruption. The difference in diagnostic accuracy is abysmal.
1. Charging the battery to 100% before any reset. And we've reached number 1, the most important secret that can make the difference between a successful reset and one that makes things worse.
Get ready because this will completely change the way you approach electronic problems. 95% of failed resets occur for a single reason: insufficient voltage. When you try to reset modules with a partially discharged battery, the systems do not receive the clean, stable energy they need to restart correctly. A 100% charged battery not only provides the necessary 12.6 volts, but it keeps that voltage constant throughout the entire reset process. The electronic modules are extremely sensitive to voltage fluctuations, and any drop can corrupt the startup sequence or create new error codes. The correct process is to fully charge the battery, let it rest for an hour to stabilize the charge, and only then proceed with the reset. This preparation ensures that each module receives exactly the energy it needs to return to its factory settings without interference. Certified technicians never attempt a reset without this prior step. It's the difference between being an amateur and a true professional. Boom! You have just learned 13 secrets that are worth thousands of dollars in professional knowledge. If your car had phantom faults, strange codes, or weird behaviors, you now have the complete arsenal to fix them without going to a shop. But here's the good part. Tell me in the comments which of these tricks you are going to try first. Will it be the fuse jumping, the open hood technique, or that #1 secret that can resurrect any electronic system? And listen to this. If this video saved you even one trip to the shop, you have already recovered the time you invested here. Like if I blew your mind with any of these secrets. Subscribe and turn on all notifications because next week I'm going to reveal how to detect if your alternator is about to die before it leaves you stranded. And that video will include a multimeter technique that not even the most experienced mechanics know. Share this video with that friend who always has electrical problems in their car. You're going to change their life. See you in the next video where I'm going to teach you the most expensive mistakes you make without even knowing it.